Hi. So, I know the lighting's bad. I'm just going to allow it. I'm going to go with that. So, it's November 11th, 11/11/2019. I believe Mercury's going into retrograde now. So, I'm going to rebel against all the rules of Mercury in retrograde and I'm going to talk. I'm hoping that not wanting to talk and not supposed to talk for Mercury retrograde will cancel each other out, and this video will be my best ever, but I'm not going to hold my breath. Okay, so I'm going to continue my rambling. So this is the third video, and I believe I triggered someone with the first one because I believe they think that I was talking about them in it, and I wasn't. But you know, that's just where we are now. So I think most people with YouTube channels do it because they want to, and I do it because I had a big tumor on my thyroid, and I healed it. And the numbers weren't, my blood numbers and all that were not following the healed version of me. So that just means there's something else going on, and if I didn't figure it out, I would get another tumor, and I would have to you know, it can be exhausting to heal yourself with tumors. It's exhausting. It's a lot of energy. It's a lot of time to just keep healing, right? So the idea is to heal the tumor, get rid of it, but at the same time, simultaneously find out what happened to create it in the first place, and then make the shift wherever it started. So physical, mental, emotional, spiritual planes of existence, a disruption occurs, you know, somewhere, whether it's mental, emotional, spiritual plane of existence, and then it will ultimately be seen in the physical body. That's how we can look at the knees and say, knees are fear of moving forward, left is, you know, feminine, so it's fear of moving forward with regard to worthiness or deserving. I know the light's bad. These videos are not meant for you to look at me. Just to like do your chores or drive your car or whatever and just listen. I'm not doing anything that you need to like stare at. So I know I sound annoyed right now, and that's okay because I am annoyed. I'm annoyed. I don't want to be, you know, it's like I don't want to be me right now. I'm not comfortable being me right now. I'm going to get into it. That's what this is about. I don't like to talk. I don't want to talk, okay? I only talk to keep my thyroid healed. That's why I talk. That's why I do videos. I don't want to. So when I had the tumor and when I healed it, and then I found this doctor that figured out what it was, and then, but the mental and emotional component of my tumor, of my thyroid condition, was not talking, was not saying anything, not telling people what's happening, not speaking my truth, you know? So, see, I'm scared right now, even right now, talking. And I only have 82 subscribers. One's mad at me, I think. So, I have to be okay with that. At least one's mad at me. I don't like talking. I don't like it. I don't think that people really understand, like, how big the world is. It doesn't seem like they do. It doesn't seem like they really understand, like, how immense, how massive this planet is, this world is, and how there's billions of people and there's billions of experiences just happening right now, right this moment. This moment, billions of experiences, billions, every single second. There's billions of experiences happening. And, I think about people, it's been frustrating to watch people get so easily divided. And then like fed a narrative from some place, and they just buy it hook, line, and sinker, and then they'll go on Twitter and they'll fight with each other. So I had someone on Twitter start a fight with me, and I think it's a guy, I'm almost positive, and now we're following each other, and we've created peace, and that's really the important thing. I said the important thing is you and I wanted peace, and we created it. So this tumor I had, I wanted it gone. I didn't want to die because I had a kid, and then I was pregnant with a baby. And so pregnant with my daughter, and I just wanted to be healed completely. So I did all the energy stuff, I did all the prayer stuff, and then I said, okay, to take care of the component, whatever plane of existence it started on that ended up in the physical plane as an actual tumor, how do I keep another tumor from growing? What do I do? How do I change? What changes do I make? How do I shift, into more pure health? So the tumor was given to me as a gift from God or the universe or my higher self in order to say, you're doing something wrong, okay? So I removed the tumor, and then now what? What do you want me to do to keep myself healed? Talk, they said. Talk. Say whatever we tell you to say, when we tell you to say it. Okay, say yes to every speaking engagement you get invited to. Okay, so I got invited to these, small town, speaking engagements here and there. I was putting on meditations, monthly meditations that seemed to get closer and closer together, which just means I was more and more annoyed by them because it seemed like, I'm constantly going here or going there for free or whatever. And I would bring these bowls. I don't know if you can see these bowls, but it's like I have a set of bowls, and it's like thousands of dollars in quartz crystal. And it's not just the price of them. Like they're like my helpers. They're like my healing helpers. They're like, they have like personalities to me, as crazy as that might sound to someone who doesn't do my line of work. So it's not even like, I broke your heart bowl, here's $380, go get a new one. It's not like that. It's like, these are my babies, like the energy, they're just like important to me. I even feel better now just holding this bowl, just having the energy of this bowl. So, okay, I know I sound annoyed, and I am, because I don't want to talk, but I said, what do I have to do? I'll do anything. I'll do anything. It's just like, I could have gotten cancer. I could have gotten some other disease. And it's like, you're like, okay, I help other people heal themselves. What do I do? I'll do anything. Talk. Okay, so I started talking. Then one day they were like, get up, go make a video now. So I did. And I'm annoyed. My first video I ever made. Annoyed. Completely annoyed. I'm cutting my hair on Friday. And I think I'm going to not start over, but start doing something where, okay, I started a different group for conservative men than I have for everybody else. So, when I was a flight instructor, I had mostly male students, but sometimes I had female students. And they learn completely differently. The female students that I had, I would start from basic, because they would come, the female students I had seemed to come in like, oh God, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. And the male students would come in like, I know I'm going to be able to do this. And it's completely different energy. One's not better than the other. So I'm not complaining about the men or saying the women are weak. I'm just saying my experience is when the guys came in, they didn't seem to doubt that they'd be able to fly an airplane. And when the girls came in, and I taught girls as young as like 7 years old. Okay, so at 14 years old, I had a lot of 14-year-olds, females. My students were the best. Amazing. And it's not just me. I had Check Airman who gives people their license. I said, did you ever have a doubt that she was going to pass? He said, young lady, as soon as I saw your name in her logbook, I knew she was going to pass. He said, you have the best students. And they really are. And it's because I love them. And I love everyone listening to this, including the people who like leave the Renegade Yogi movement or whatever. I still love you. And everyone I've ever been best friends with or close friends with, even if I'm not with you, I love you. I still love you. I just love you from here. Let me love you from here. Okay? I have situations in my life right now. These people want to talk. They think they want to talk. I have, a little bit of drama with one kid and a little bit of drama with another kid. And the mothers of both these kids just want to talk. They want to talk. And Neem Karoli Baba says words are a minefield because they are. To talk to parents about their children when it's just like, let's just let them work things out. Why can't we let our kids work these things out? And you empower your child and I'll empower my child, and then through two empowered beings, they're gonna, work it out or not, and then that's gonna be fine. But let's keep our friendship or our relationship out of it. But people don't seem to want to let me do that, like at all. That's where I am now. There's a little bit of frustration. That's what you're sensing. All right. Okay. So talk. Okay. Well, I had to let go of some friendships. For whatever reasons. And I just have a hard time talking to people. So my male students and my female students, I loved them both dearly. With the women, the girls, females, I started from a very, very easy spot. And then halfway through, they were like, oh. And then they were putting it all together. So the female students, I started from like nitpicky, annoying, almost annoying, like insult your intelligence. And then halfway through, they would be putting it together, and then I would just have to chime in a little here, a little there. And then they were like amazing. The guys, if I started the guys like that, they would totally check out. They would be bored. So the guys, I started kind of in the middle, and then I'd give information in the front and the back. And then they would put it together like this. That's just my experience. That's how I experienced them. Now, I love them both. One's not better than the other. I enjoyed them both. I enjoyed having them both. But they learned differently. So I taught them differently. So then when I started Renegade Yogi, bless, forgive, respect the free will choices of, and love all, it was in the interest of creating empowered people, a high vibe tribe. Just empowering people. Just letting people know that every minute of every day you can choose between victimhood or empowerment. Okay? And then all of a sudden, I think about a year ago, I started getting a lot of conservative men or, Trump supporters or whatever, and they were different. So it's like my normal clients were all kind of like liberal, usually. Mostly like liberal-minded, like Democrat type people. And then it just like, when I first started flight instructing, it was all male students. And then when the female students started coming, I had to change the way I taught airplanes. Still taught people how to fly airplanes. I still taught the girls were as good or better than the guys, but they were different. So in my healing work, my energy training and all that, it's like I started with, more liberally and democratic kind of people doing healing work, and then it seemed like all of a sudden there was all these, they're all Trump supporters, so it's not even, and male and female. So that started happening. So I noticed right off the bat that they think differently. And so I adapted the way I taught and the way I give the information through healing. So I just had a Trump person that I did a healing on today, and he forgot his notes. And so I'm going to share some of what that looks like, because I think it's important for people to realize like what's going on. And I'm on Twitter, really like Twitter. There was a like a hashtag walk away black male. So he used to be a Democrat. Now he considers himself a conservative. So a black male conservative Trump supporter on Twitter. And he was very excited about his hashtag walk away stuff. And then he was sort of reaching out like, who can help me with this or that? And I said, I can help you with this. And he said, okay. I said, if you want it, because I don't want to give advice if people don't want it. So he says, yeah, I'll take it. Well, I was trying to push an agenda on this black, happy, conservative male, Trump supporter guy. He was a Democrat all his life, raised his whole family like that. And then now he's in this new space and he's excited about it. And I'm coming along trying to say, okay, great job. Now let's throw out the meat suit details. And da-da-da-da-da. I did three tweets because you're limited. So I did 3 in a row where I was trying to help him get quickly to where I wanted him to be, where this is just a meat suit empowerment. But I was totally steamrolling. Oh, and so he put a heart on the first one and then nothing on the second 2, and then I never heard from him again. So that's a very gracious way of saying, oh, thanks. I didn't realize what you were gonna try and do here, little healer lady. I'm very happy. He didn't say anything, but this is the whole, I could read into it. I could feel the energies. Like I was taking an in that he gave me, and then I was running this agenda and steamrolling over his excitement to be a black conservative. Okay, so he's excited to be a black conservative right now. He was a Democrat all his life, raised like that, and now he's got this new awareness. For him, it's his awakening. For him, it's this like amazing thing. And he was extremely gracious when I sort of saw an opening, and I'm like, okay, let's fling the door wide open and let's get you empowered, little fella. Let's get you empowered. Let's get your vibration up to 1,000, little guy. And then we'll, it's like, that was such a, I was trying to help, okay? So in the other 2 videos, I may have seemed like I was putting down liberals. And maybe I was, or because I think I lost someone that I triggered, at least one person, maybe more now. But I consider myself liberally minded. The problem, as I see it, is just that there is such a huge world happening, and there are billions of people on the planet having their own experiences, touching a different part of the elephant all the time, billions of experiences over and over and over. And there's tons of information, just like loads of information. And, I started, I could talk to angels. I was intuitive my whole life. And then it started to feel like it was my intuition was working against me when I saw all these people so happy in their like echo chambers. And I'm like, man, I wish, in some ways, I wish that I could be in that. But that's not true. So I just stayed away from people, because I know why this group is fighting against that group, and I know why that group's fighting against that group, and it makes perfect sense. Because when they tell me why, they make sense, and I can feel that they're 100% like in their truth or whatever. And same with the other side. And I can listen to both sides and go, oh my God, you guys are saying like almost the same exact thing. And there's no way for me to bridge these two groups together. It doesn't matter if it's politics or religion or whatever. It's almost like it's impossible to bridge the groups. So when I had the Renegade Yogi, typical, traditional, liberal type thing, and then I started getting these conservative men, I realized I can work a different way with these conservative men. They're totally different. So with the choice between empowerment or victimhood, it's always empowerment. So I don't even have to like lay it out on the table for them. As soon as they start down a disempowering or a victimhood sort of mindset, I just say victim story, and they go, oh, okay. And they'll lay on the table here, and I'll be like, don't help. I like yell at them, and I go like this with them. They're totally different. Okay? Now, I want to talk about this guy I had today. And I want to do a thing for everyone called the enmeshment exercise. So, enmeshment is where you blur the boundaries between you and someone else. And like, I'm just going to talk really quickly. And conservatives like this man, he enmeshes, he's in big time enmeshment issues with his own sons. But then a lot of liberal people are enmeshed with groups that they look at and consider victims. Okay? And so this like black guy on Twitter who's now, a conservative, he's happy to be a black conservative. What he's excited about is he doesn't have a victim mentality anymore. So that's pretty much what these black conservatives are moving into. The space they're moving into is, I didn't even realize that I was a victim in my mind before, and now I'm not. And they're excited. They want to call themselves black conservatives. They want to call themselves conservatives. And what they're doing is, with this, they are reinforcing that they're choosing empowerment over victimhood. Okay, so that was the point I was trying to get across in the last video, was that if you are looking at groups of people as far as skin color or Muslim, the religion, whatever, and you're going, that group's a victim, or women, you're clumping people into groups, and then you're going, these groups are all victims. Okay, you're the one calling those people victims, and not everyone in that group may want you to call them a victim. And you're trying to empower these groups of victims that you see, and what you're doing actually is the opposite. And so, as a female pilot, professional pilot, there's quite a few female pilots, but there's not that many female professional pilots. So I was on 767 at United Airlines. And I put up with my fair share of crap from the beginning of my career. And if I had a group that was trying to help empower me, like I'm not going to go into all the different things because it doesn't really matter. But there was a lot of bullshit. There was a lot that I had to put up with. And I had to find a way to navigate through it with grace and gratitude and power. So I empowered myself by climbing up this hill, right? I empowered myself as I moved up the ladder, as I became a female pilot. I put up with things here and there. Luckily, I was intuitive. I would get hit on in ways that were like, ugh. And if I didn't know that these guys were trying to give me a compliment, I could feel they were trying to tell me that I was hot or something. They were just trying to pay me a compliment. They were just trying to let me know that I was attractive. They were doing it in sexist ways, but it still was like, in their mind, they were paying me a compliment, and that's all that mattered. And so it was annoying, it was frustrating, yes. The flight school I went to at first in 1993, had Air Asiana. So we had Asian students there to be trained for Air Asiana, and they used to grab my butt all the time, but they would push my airplane back. And I'm like, don't push my plane back and don't touch my ass. Stop. Oh, I'd get so mad. But, you know, if I had a group trying to jump in and try and fight for me, I would have said, shh, stop. You're ruining this for me. Stop. Stop calling out attention. Like, I'm doing it myself. And I had a guy at the major airline say, you know, it's nice to see a woman who's feminine or whatever, pilot, and you're not acting like, you know, a guy, like all the female pilots used to act like guys. And I said, well, thank you for that compliment. However, those women did what they felt they had to do in order to be accepted into the club a long time ago. And he said, oh, I never thought about it like that. Huh. And by not being emotional about it and just by sharing information, by accepting the compliment that was paid to me, and then giving a little information, we made peace. And he walked away. There was no fight. You know, he was able to walk away with a new perspective. And so this is what I mean about the elephant and the blind man parable. When you already know everything about everything, you don't stand a chance at peace. You've already decided who the good guys and the bad guys are. So you don't stand a chance at creating peace. You already know. And I know I've been accused of this, that I already know. And I understand that. I really do. But this Renegade Yogi stuff is a one-way street. It's a one-way street. I don't have time for to do anything beyond what I'm already doing. Okay? Because my kids, my animals, you know, 23 chickens, 2 goats, 29 animals I have. And my husband's great. He works his butt off. But, like, I got gardens, kids, animals, clients. My clients are so important to me. So important that I don't even want friends. I don't want friends. Because beyond the kids and the animals, I only have time for clients. Because I need time for my own self, to lay on my own healing table, to meditate on my own time, to read my own books, to write my own books. So I don't even want friends. So if you don't like that this Renegade Yogi stuff is a one-way street, then maybe you're supposed to start your own, you know, movement. Okay? So in the interest of moving my groups together, so that I can just, and I don't handle the conservative men's empowerment group anymore, but I feel like it's time to start moving these groups of people who desire empowerment together. And so I just have to be okay with upsetting people. And I'm not yet. I'm not completely ready for that, but I have to be now. I have to start becoming ready for people to get mad at me or whatever. And so I'm working on that. But what's happening for me in that is I'm very frustrated that I have to talk. You know, I'm an intuitive person. I grew up this way. I've known things, and then things I've known have come true. And then it's frustrating that not everybody sees that, but they just don't. And one of the friends that's important to me, that I just want to keep our friendship separate from the kids, I met during 2016, I think. And, you know, I said, she was talking about, she wasn't like, she doesn't talk about politics like too much, or okay. I feel like she's open-minded. I could be wrong, but I feel like I've been able to ask her questions that might trigger somebody else, But she's able to answer my question without, maybe she gets upset, I don't know, but she doesn't really show it. So one of the things, as she was talking and I was talking, and I said, you know, you'd think when, so 2016, what was happening, you know, you could see Hillary was going to get the Democrat side, and then you could see that on the, oh, well, I don't know. Anyway, I used to, okay, so I've always watched politics sort of as like as an entertainment type thing. It's not, I didn't get like, it didn't like grab me by the shirt and shake me around. Okay, so I was watching one of the Republican debates, I want to say, and Jeb Bush was getting all this cheering, and Trump was getting booed. And Trump said something like, "Do you hear all the cheering?" He says, some group bought this many dollars worth of tickets right here so they could cheer for Jeb. And when he said that, I was like, oh my God, I could feel it was true. I was like, oh, that's why, because I just had the question in my mind. And so then, I could just see, and it just kind of opened that. Oh, and then the information that was falling into my lap was how much money they were putting into Jeb and how much money they were putting into destroying Trump. It was like $25 million or something they spent on trying to get Trump out. And I was like, ooh, now it's getting interesting. So the top two people in 2016 for the Republican race were Ben Carson and Donald Trump, two really non-politicians. And I was like, wow, holy cow. And then Bernie's slogan, and he had a huge following. Bernie's slogan was, if you're not outraged, you're not paying attention. I was like, this is a new day. So I was like, So I started paying more attention, and so a lot of us could feel like, okay, so they're going to put Jeb against Hillary. Hillary's going to get it, Jeb's going to get it, and then Jeb's going to lose, and Hillary's going to be the first female president. Yay. So the way my life works as an intuitive person, the doctor that helped me heal my thyroid, keep my thyroid healed, he's dead now. But anyway, I was there, I was at the doctor's office, and then I just happened to go I needed gas, so I went across the street to this gas station I never go to, and there's newspapers on the side. And I happened to look at the newspapers, and it said something about Hillary purchased this many, like, I don't know, $1 million in fireworks or something. And I go, that's news, because I had already seen the news, So this man, this total stranger, happened to be right next to me. And I just told this story to someone that I know. So it's popping up in my mind. I was like, maybe I should say this. So this guy, he's standing next to me. Now, I'm never at the newspapers unless the newspapers are right in front of the cash register. So it was really weird that I was even looking, but just something made me look. And I see something about fireworks, and I looked at that. I don't even know what paper it was, and I looked at this total stranger. I'm like, that's news? And he says, let me tell you something. He goes, one of my close friends is a New York City police officer. And he said, you remember Anthony Weiner's laptop? I said, yeah. He goes, yeah, they found, under insurance file, they found this video. He said, some of the police officers were looking at it, and said they were crying and puking and calling for therapists. And I said, huh. And he says, and now they don't want to, like, ruin the investigation or whatever, do anything to ruin the investigation, so they're leaking that information, just hoping that she doesn't get elected. And I was like, oh, okay. That was it. It's like this total stranger. I don't know his name, and I never saw him again. I'm like, oh, okay. So I just be skeptical, but learn to listen. So I'm not picking any sides. because I don't feel like there's any point. Republicans and Democrats, liberals and conservatives, and my male and female flight students, I love them all. I really love them all, and I listen to them all. And I feel like if they knew what was really going on, they would be united against some of the stuff but no one seems to see. So much of the stuff, no one seems to see it. And I've been jealous of people who are able to, pick a side or whatever. And they just, and they're feeling really good about that side. And I don't know, I see the people on Facebook, and they look so much happy. They look so happy, like being on their side, whatever side it is. They look so happy. And my friend's a singer, songwriter, musician, and I had the same problem with him. Like, I'm like, he's so lucky. This is so not fair that I'm looking at someone and saying, he's so lucky. People who go see him love his songs. They just love his songs. And he just sings the same songs, and he has a great time with it, and he raises everybody's vibration. Like, you can feel the difference when you walk in and everybody's happy and everybody's excited to go see him, and then he sings, and he's beautiful, and he's kind, and he's funny, and he's adorable, and like all this great stuff. And then he plays with the band sometimes, and their relationship is like perfect and beautiful and amazing. So you can feel the vibration of the crowd just go up and up and up and up and up. And then at the end, he like lets people come tell him, and he gets to hug them, and he gets to say thanks, and he's like this amazing human being. And I was like so jealous, because I'm like, and then I'm trying to talk, and I don't want to talk, and he's doing exactly what he wants to do, and he's doing exactly what he's supposed to do. He's like right on. He's right on track, and I have no idea what I want to do. None. And I'm like, no fair. So, but then it occurs to me, it's like, he had to sit and write those songs. He has to get appointments to meet with people and create shows. He had to gather a group together. He's had a lot of work in this. He's had to work really, really hard. And so I understand. I shouldn't have thought that. It's like, he doesn't have it any easier. I probably have it easier, okay? And then the same thing with all these people in these echo chambers, and they're so happy in their echo chambers, which is the way the ego is it's designed. The ego's designed to be this. And then I'm like, no fair, why can't I be, and I am happy. I'm happy when I stay in my own little world, and I just want my Airstream, 30 acres on the ocean, and just write or read and meditate and guide meditations for people. That's what I want to do. And channel the yogis. That's what I want to do. All I want to do is Airstream, ocean, channel the yogis like Neem Karoli Baba, Krishnamurti, and I want to guide meditations, and I want to go places and just answer people's questions that they have for any of the yogis. All the dead people that talk to me in my head. That's all I really want to do. When I think about that, I just relax. And so when these people are like, if you're not on a side, then you're part of the problem. Okay, they're saying that from a lower vibration. So I know that that's just their experience, and that's their truth. Because who they're talking to are people who are on the fence. And I don't know if I'm a Republican or a Democrat. And they're like, just pick. You're part of the problem if you pick our side, You got to pick our side. You're part of the problem. And that's really mostly the Democrat side. But then you got all these people who are like, left the United States to move to Mexico or somewhere else, and they're like, oh my God, you guys are getting played. Oh my God, stop voting because you're just choosing your slave master. And so I listen to those people too. And then I see these people online sharing information that's like really profound. Actually, I'm going to post. Okay, so I've been paying attention for a long time, 1993. And my whole thing, when I started Renegade Yogi, is worry about the next 7 years and what's going to come out and how people are going to handle it. That's a real true worry for me. that people are going to lose their minds when they start to see the trafficking and all the stuff that's been going on. I worry about people, good-hearted human beings who've been, playing and fighting in the sandbox of politics, of identity politics, and they fight each other. I'm like, oh my God, oh, you guys, let's just empower you guys. Let's just empower you, and then to stand behind your own peaceful, powerful soul, and not behind any politicians. None, zero. Just. Oh, I love you both. I love you both so much. We just empower you guys. Then you can come to the table and you can talk. Because if you find out that the person or people that you're backing did some bad things, you're gonna like lose your minds. And that's why I started Renegade Yogi, was to just take people, empower them, bring them back to their center, stand behind your own peaceful, powerful soul, And I feel like once people get empowered, and if people can follow the 5 agreements, be impeccable with your word, don't take anything personally, don't make assumptions, always do your best, and be skeptical but learn to listen, then you'll all be magically empowered and you'll be able to speak to each other. But I have not been doing my best. I have not been doing my best at speaking my mind. I have not been doing my best at eating correctly, I have not been doing my best at meditating as much as I need to. Sometimes you need to meditate more than other times. I've been trying to placate people by having conversations, deep conversations that I don't want to have, just to make them happy. That's how I got the tumor on my thyroid in the first place. Because empathic people like me, we emotionally blackmail ourselves through other people. If we know we're going to get yelled at, if we disagree, I keep my mouth shut. I try and only agree. I try and give that person what they want, because when they're happy, I can relax more. When they get mad, my vibration goes down. I'm connected to them in a way that I wish I wasn't, but I am. And so to always do my best means I need to stop not wanting to be me. I need to just accept that I'm me, and whatever I've got and whatever I download and whatever my heart tells me to do, I have to be more authentic. And so I'm moving into a more authentic place. And I'm triggering people that started with me and that I was dragging along with me on my path. And the path is just to empower everyone. And then the high vibe tribe, whoever bubbles up to 1,000 level vibration, or even, 600, peace is fine. I just bring those people with me on my path as I raise my own vibration. But, so in Newtown, I'm in Newtown. So December 14th, 2012, there was a shooting. And one of the kids that died came to me and said, you have to work with my mom. That's Scarlett Lewis, who wrote Nurturing Healing Love. And she's one of the most empowered people I've ever seen. But so Jessie left behind Nurturing Healing Love on the chalkboard. And she wrote a book, Nurturing Healing Love. Okay, so I ended up being able to connect with her, give her information from Jessie, which overlapped information she got from a medium, too. So it sort of validated my work to her, and then she and I became friends. And so I wanted women who are pregnant to understand the work by Dr. Bruce H. Lipton, PhD, that when you're pregnant, your emotions send signals to the baby that's developing inside. And if you're calm and serene and you meditate, your baby's going to have a more developed frontal lobe. But if you're stressed out, even if it's just to get to work, stress, any kind of stress, shrinks the frontal lobe development and increases the hindbrain and the high twitch muscles. Do you like that I'm acting it out? So you're basically, these moms, while they're pregnant, they're creating natural born fighters without knowing it. So I wanted that information out. So I wanted to do a video for pregnant women to meditate and calm down And then people were like, well, you should do a video for teenagers or whatever. And then I did one for people who are sick. So I put together this project called All Calm Down. It's on YouTube, All Calm Down. And Scarlett Lewis, the Jessie Lewis Choose Love Foundation, paid for the videos to be done. And I had to pay for other stuff. So I started incurring debt from this project, but I just had to do it. I just had to get this thing done. Okay, so anyway, a year after the shooting, Scarlett was invited to go on the Mike Huckabee show. I think that's his name. I know Huckabee's correct. And Jessie had to tell her stuff, so she came. I said, you gotta come, Jessie's got. So I did a healing on her right before her appearance. I think it was the 1-year anniversary. And Jessie gave her this information. One of the things that he said was, you can't cast a wide net and get everybody. You have to, because there were people who were bashing this woman. Like, oh, okay. Because so there were people who thought that Sandy Hook was a hoax. That's why. And then, so then she was getting bashed. And so I didn't understand it. And then my friend, who's like 20, was like, oh yeah, it's this. So I looked that up and I'm like, so then I became familiar with all that. And I was like, wow, okay. Anyway, and then I cannot cast a wide net anymore, basically. I need to just grab the people who like are understanding what I'm saying, and then it's up to them to disseminate the rest in some other way. And so when I think about trying to help everyone, it's like exhausting. And trying to come up with the right words to help people understand what I'm trying to say. It's not doing. And I don't like to trigger people. And I know, Ellen, that I'm supposed to just do it and just keep moving forward. But I am not loving it right now. Right now, I'm a little frustrated. But I have to tell you, on Sunday, my daughter was upset Sunday morning, and she was crying. And I was like, shh, this is the only day Dad gets to sleep. Don't wake up your dad. Don't wake up your dad. It's the only day he gets to sleep. Please, shh, just come. Just come. Let me cuddle you. You know, come. And I wanted her to stop being loud. And I wanted her to stop crying. So I was running another agenda on my daughter. And it was not going well. And so I said, hold on, let me just tap into this. So I just went in and just went into it like, okay, what can you tell me, to my heart. And so then I could feel from my daughter's point of view that the whole thing, she was upset that I didn't wake her up in the middle of the night so that she could be with me so that she could be with me the whole night. She was upset because she wanted to be with me. That's why. I was looking at the information and why she was upset. I was putting more attention and focus on the stuff that really didn't matter. And then I wasn't really recognizing what really did matter. So what really mattered was, oh my God, she loves me so much that she's upset because she didn't get me. I don't think I'm doing this justice, but once I realized, like, from a 7-year-old point of view, she just loves her mom. And then I started crying. I'm like, I get it now. I understand. I understand now. Oh my God, honey, I'm so sorry. I understand now. And then I explained back to her, you just wanted to be with me. You're upset because you didn't get to be with me. And she's like, yeah. So I'm like, who wouldn't want to be me? Like, it's crazy to not want to be myself when, it serves me, and I'm like, yeah, I'm glad to be me. And then it's not serving me, and I'm like, I don't want to be me. It's like, all right. I'm going to stop this video here because it's long enough. And then I think I'm going to do one more. But I do love you all. And I'm not going to pick your side, except that I'm going to pick the side of your highest, holiest, true self. But that's on the same side as all the people's highest, holiest, true self that you hate or think that you hate. And it's okay that you hate them, because that hatred that you feel, the frustration and hatred that you feel for these other humans, can serve you if you allow it. It can serve you. Including if you hate me or if you get mad at me. I don't need to hear about it. Handle it yourself, unless you want to schedule an appointment. But I do love you, and I do pray for your highest best interests. And I'm going to post something that someone put together. There's 2 documentaries that kind of really glaze over a lot of information and how all this stuff's interconnected. But I started Renegade Yogi and the Conservative Men's Empowerment Group to spare people from having to go back through information and see, oh, well, that's why this is all happening. There's a lot happening right now. There's a lot of the bottom of the barrel is getting cleaned out, and people are taking it personally, and it's just not a personal thing. We needed a black president when we got a black president, and then we got a business person as a president. We needed that then. We need, we are where we are, and we needed a black president before that black man on Twitter could be happy about becoming a conservative. He needed, this one individual, he needed to see a black president first before he could have the experience and the awakening of being this other thing. And it doesn't matter. He could go back to being a Democrat. He could run as president. He's younger. He could run as a Democrat for president someday in the future. We really don't know what's coming around the bend. So the sides think they want the other sides to change their mind and be like them, but that wouldn't work. We need left and right. We don't need to fight. Mike Tyson or someone. Mike Tyson, I think, said, social media has made it easy for you people to say crap without getting punched in the face. And I love that quote. It's so good, But social media is not bad. It's just, this is where we are. This is where we are. And we can really work with this. I can really work with this. But empowerment really has got to be the goal. And if you are an empowered or working towards empowerment on the left, or empowerment on the right, as a person on the right, just know that the group of empowered people that you're rising to join, you're going to have both. You're going to have the other side in there. And the high vibe tribe is really what we're working towards. High vibe tribe. And I love you. I love you all. But I'm not taking sides. Not because I'm a weenie, not because I'm a dork, and not because I'm afraid. It's just because I've been looking at stuff for far too long. And I don't care. I choose empowerment, and I choose peace. And my peace is connected to the peace of the people on the left and the peace of the people on the right. That's just the way it is. But I love everyone. Some people from a farther distance, and that just has to be okay. Okay, I gotta go. I do love you. Don't question that. I love you. Where is it? Where is it? I love you. Don't forget. Thank you.